Hello, friends. A very good afternoon to all of you. So here now you know that we have entered the month of June, and probably your NABARD prelims, if the trend continues, will be held in second half of October. Okay, because the result has been published of previous years, but the wait list has not been cleared yet. So in all possible circumstances, it is likely that your examination may be held in second half of October or the first half of November. Okay, but we should be ready for September also. So all that I want to convey to this is that uh, the events or all the current affair portion that is going to happen in and around you from right now, from today itself, because the new government has formed, and there is high possibility that new initiatives will be launched, okay, in various states as well as in at the central government level. Okay, so you need to be very careful about current affairs from now onwards for 4 months. Okay, June, July, August, September. Yeah, for 4 months you should be very careful. And you know that actually I'm confident that all of you must have read the syllabus of NABARD examination, all the economic and social issues and agriculture and rural development. I'm talking about syllabus. You should remember the syllabus. Why that is important? Because the event or the development that will take place uh, from today onwards, you have to find out whether that particular news is relevant with your syllabus or not. If that is relevant with your syllabus, you must read that. Okay, this is the first criteria of review. Second criteria is you must find out whether the news is going to affect majority of population. Okay, if the millions or every individual is being affected from a particular decision of government, okay, that becomes important. Other than that, all other segments, you just have to remember only the headlines of the news. Okay, for example, which country launched the satellite or the rover or lander to the southern pole of moon, or satellite names, who has become the new prime minister or president of which country, like that. Headlines only you need to remember. But these two things, one is if the topic is relevant with your syllabus. Okay. Second one is whether the topic is affecting majority of population in India. Okay. These two things you should be aware of. Your syllabus includes all the social issues and rural issues. Okay. Whatever development is taking place in Ministry of Rural Development or Ministry of Panchayati Raj. Okay. All these things you should be very careful, and you should read in detail. Okay. And the second one is whether the event that is taking place is affecting masses or majority of the population. Like the one that you are currently watching on your screen. This question is related with the side effect of COVID-19 vaccine. You know that majority of people in our country were administered Covishield. Okay. And recently, the manufacturer of the Covishield or the developer of the Covishield, that is AstraZeneca company and Oxford University, have admitted that their vaccine have side effects, that is thrombosis and thrombocytopenia. Okay, this is a deadly combination of two symptoms. One is thrombosis and other one is thrombocytopenia. Okay, so because majority of the population were administered this vaccine, so this is affecting the masses. So these kind of news you need to study in a little bit details. So let's discuss this question only. Today we will discuss only one question. Okay, the question is, vaccine-induced thrombosis and thrombocytopenia syndrome was recently in news due to various reasons. Which of the following statement is true with respect to TTS? Option A, they are rare side effects of COVID-19 vaccine, or very obviously, very clearly in the headline only you will get this, that this option is true. TTS is a lethal combination of blood clotting and low platelet count. Yeah, this is also true because in TTS, thrombosis literally means blood clotting within the blood vessels. You know, uh, oxygen and nutrients are transported through the blood vessels. Okay, and within these blood vessels, our uh, uh, red blood cells are there, okay, which transport oxygen. White blood cells are there, which are responsible for the immunity, and platelets are there. Platelets are the special types of cells which are involved in blood clotting. Okay, blood clotting. This is a very life-saving function of platelet. Whenever there is a damage in the vessels which carry the blood from heart to the different organs, okay, whenever there is a damage, or suppose you have a cut on your skin, you must have noticed that after some time the flow of blood automatically stops because of blood clotting. Okay, these platelet cells and a special type of protein that is also present in the blood itself, that is known fibrin. Okay, these platelet cells and the fibrins accumulate at the damaged site and transform the liquid blood into a jelly structure, okay, which further solidifies and plug the cut or the damaged arteries or veins. Okay, so this is a very life-saving function of platelets. But when this kind of clotting happens inside the blood vessel without any damage to the wall of the blood vessel, when this kind of clotting happens inside the blood vessel, that becomes very lethal. Okay, death can also occur because these solid or jelly portions of the blood, they may obstruct the flow of blood in the blood vessels, and if they reaches our heart, it may also result in heart attacks. Okay, so you must have read in news that many different theories were there, that many people who were administered this uh, Covishield, they are suffering from, they are having heart attacks and all those things. Okay, although this is the rarest of the rare case, this is a symptom of this vaccine, but this is the rarest of the rare case. Okay, so here, uh, thrombosis literally means the blood clotting within the blood vessels. Okay, so thrombosis here, blood clotting happens here, and low platelet count. When the number of platelets in your blood vessels becomes very less, okay, that's symptom is called thrombocytopenia. Okay, what is the uh, why we should be concerned about number of platelets? Why? Because you know that the platelets are involved in clotting of the blood or repairing the blood vessels. And when the number of platelets becomes very high, there is possibility of uh, clotting within the blood vessels. Okay, so here the thrombosis happens, but apart from that, low platelet count also happens. When the number of platelets becomes very low, what will happen? The repairing of the vessels is impaired. Okay, so you know that it do not mainly causes damage to larger vessels. Low platelet counts do not affect the larger vessels, but in our tissues, these vessels are further divided. Okay, these are the primary vessel which appears from the heart, and there are secondary vessels, and within the tissue, there are tertiary vessels. These vessels which carry the blood within the tissues, okay, they are very small and very delicate. Okay, here there is a regular wear and tear, and for that, to repair that platelet, the optimal number of platelet is very necessary. Okay, but when the platelet count becomes low, what will happen? The damage will not be repaired, and you might, or the person who is having low platelet count might suffer from internal bleeding. Internal bleeding. Okay, when internal bleeding will happen, the organ which is supported by these tertiary vessels, they get damaged. Okay, so low platelet count is also lethal, and thrombosis is also lethal. And both these occurs in this particular symptom. So altogether, this particular TTS is very lethal condition. Okay, all this happens in very limited number of people, 10 lakh, 1 in 10 lakh, okay, like that. Rarest of the rare cases. Okay. Third option, so second option is also true. Third option is platelet cells are involved in blood clotting. Yeah, obviously I have told you. So all the three are true. So the correct option here is A, B, and C. All are true. Now I have told you that the news which is affecting majority of the population, you should read in a little bit more detail. Okay. So let's have a look at some other science and tech aspects of this particular news. Here. Okay. Here it says that AstraZeneca has admitted that in very rare cases, TTS happens. Okay. Uh, TTS is because of the immune reaction of our body towards the foreign particle. You know, in a vaccine, what is administered? These are inactivated virus particles are administered. Okay. And our body or the white blood cells in our blood, they react to the foreign particle. Okay. They multiply. They first identify the foreign particle, and to fight that those foreign particles, they multiply themselves. Okay. So this is called the immune reaction. So all the vaccines works on this particular principle only. And this is because here it is said that TSS is because of the immune reaction of the body towards the foreign particle, which is present in the vaccine. Okay. TSS is also termed as vaccine-induced immune thrombocytopenia or VITT. Okay, and these things just read once, you will get to know if question is twisted. Okay, if in place of this, the question will mention this symptom: vaccine-induced immune thrombocytopenia and thrombosis. Okay, so these are all similar names. Okay, you will find out. You will get to know what the examiner is asking. Okay, so no need to worry about that. Thrombosis, I have told you what is thrombosis. Thrombocytopenia also I have told you it is the low platelet count, and because of that internal bleeding happens. Yeah, this is important. What are the other side effects of COVID vaccines? Okay, one we know TTS. The other is Guillain-Barré syndrome. It is the damage of nerve tissue which causes damage of our muscles. Okay, the nerves tissues in our muscles are getting damaged here. Okay, so in this particular symptom, other is myocarditis. There is carditis means carditis is related with heart only. Okay, myocarditis or pericarditis. Okay, here the heart tissue is damaged. Okay, this is very important. CVST, cerebral venous sinus thrombosis. Here also the term thrombosis is there, which means that there must be blood clotting here. What is CVST? There is presence of blood clots in the brain. Okay, clotting in the brain. Okay, this is a very serious symptom. So these three are other symptoms, and all these symptoms are present in any vaccine that is developed. Okay, because all these are, whether it is TTS or Guillain-Barré or myocarditis or CVST, all these are due to the immune response of the body towards the foreign particle. In any vaccine develops immunity. And immunity, what is immunity? Immunity is preparing our body for the attack of the foreign particle. So for that, a small dose of inactive foreign particle is administered in our body through vaccine. Okay. Now the body will recognize that foreign particle. Okay. That foreign particle that is administered through vaccine is not harmful to us. Okay. But our body still will recognize that. Okay. And based on that recognition, our body will prepare itself to fight for any future attack. So after the vaccination, if you encounter the COVID virus, what will happen? Our body is already prepared. Okay. So it can fight easily with the foreign particle. This is what is vaccination is all about. So when you administer the vaccine, our body starts the immune response. And these are the byproduct of immune. In other way, we can say, okay, these are the symptoms. Okay. So here, why clinical trials are done in vaccine? To check whether these immune response, okay, happens in rarest of the rare case, or it is common. Okay. So if it is common, the vaccine is discarded. Okay. If it is a rare side effect in billions or millions, 1 in million or billion, billion. And so based on the risk and benefit, the vaccine is approved. So all these are the common side effect of the COVID-19 vaccine, or we can say that for any vaccination which develops a immune response within us. Okay. So Covishield, the news was about Covishield. So the Covishield was developed by, we know that, Oxford University and AstraZeneca. AstraZeneca is also a British company. Oxford University is also in England. Okay. And in India, it is manufactured by Serum Institute of Technology in the name of Covishield. Okay. Here, which virus is used? The vector virus is used. It's adenovirus. Adenoviruses are the viruses which do not have lipid layer. We will talk about virus also. Yeah, virus is there. What are viruses? These are the infectious agents that can replicate only inside the living cell. Okay, they are not living when they are alone. Okay, they cannot multiply and they cannot perform their any other function unless they are inside the living cell. Why this happens? Because although these agents have DNA or RNA, DNA and RNA are the genetic material required uh, for all the functions that is carried out by living beings. Okay, so these do have DNA and RNA, but they do not have any other proteins which will help these DNA and RNAs to express themselves. Okay, DNA and RNA is the storehouse of all the information. Okay, but they cannot be expressed unless you have other enzymes and other different components in the cell which will help them to express themselves. Okay, so therefore, these agents need a living cells. They use the machinery of the other living cell to express themselves and multiply. Okay. Apart from protein and this genetic material, they have a protein coat which is also called caspid. Okay, that protects these genes. Okay, this protects these DNA and RNA, and there is an envelope of lipid above this protein coat. Okay. Some viruses don't have this lipid envelope. Example of that is adenovirus that we have just studied. What are viroids? Viroids are similar to the virus, only the difference is that their genome is always made up of RNA. RNA means ribonucleic acid, DNA means deoxyribonucleic acid. In human beings, the genetic material is DNA, and in this viroids, the genetic material is also RNA. Okay, they have a genetic material that is in the form of RNA, but they don't have a protein coat. Okay, this is the only difference. Here, protein coat is absent. And also the RNA genome that is here, they do not encode for any protein. Here, the DNA and RNA in the true virus encode for protein. What are proteins? The information that is present in these molecules, okay, DNA and RNA, they are transcribed and translated into proteins. And proteins are the basic structure which perform all other functions in our body. Okay, but here the RNA or the genetic material in the viroids, they do not have any information about any proteins. So one difference is that they don't have protein coat. Another difference is that they have genetic material, but that genetic material do not encode any protein. Okay. Other one is prion. See why we are studying this, because although it is from the topic itself is very important, but one more reason is that this viroids, and prions are part of your agriculture syllabus also. So therefore, we are reading these in some detail also. Other infectious agent is prion. They don't have any genetic material. They just have protein. They are the misfolded protein. And when a prion enters any living being, it induces other protein to misfold. Okay. So therefore, the normal function of the actual host in which is being infected by prion, that normal function is affected. Okay. So adenovirus we have just discussed. These don't have the lipid bilayer. Yeah, most important here is blood, human blood. Okay, thrombosis and platelet we have discussed. Now. One thing that you should always remember, and it is often asked in examination, that is the pH of the blood. That is 7.35 to 7.45. Okay. And blood cells, I have told you, red blood cells, they are also known as erythrocytes. They are responsible for transport of oxygen in our body. So therefore, these blood cells only have hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is the molecule which reversibly bind with oxygen, and it is the molecule within the RBC which is responsible for transport of oxygen. Another one is white blood cell, that is called leukocytes also. Okay? They are responsible for immunity. Okay. So whenever a vaccine is administered, these white blood cells only recognizes the foreign particle in the vaccine, and they, after recognizing, they prepare themselves, they multiply and be ready for the further infection. Okay, these are the cells which are responsible for immunity in our body. Okay, other one is platelet. Platelet function you already know. Okay. Okay. So this topic I hope is clear to you. Okay, you can read the PDF once again more. And I don't think any other information is necessary for this. So that's all for this video. We'll meet with the next video. There we will be discussing about a report of World Bank that is talking about the greenhouse gas emission from agriculture sector. Okay, the reports is that the recipe of a livable planet. Okay? So in the next video we'll discuss about that. So and that's all in this video. I'm ending the video now.